I am Adrian Atkinson, starting the show with a citation from Charles Wilson. Your future is still before you. Your land is a vast storehouse of mineral and agricultural wealth, awaiting further development for the benefit of mankind. Its potentialities are magnificent. The future is sure, but present foundations have to be laid with lessons from the past that will ensure positive prospects for our tomorrow. We share some of this with you in today's edition of Jamaica Magazine.
So dear man, the Strata thing you're telling me about, who manage all of that?
The Strata is managed by an executive committee elected at an annual general meeting. They ensure that the property is insured, keep accounting records, prepare the budget for the year, and submit annual returns to the commission.
Annual returns?
Yes, man. Annual returns are audited financial statements or a copy of the accounts prepared in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles for the financial year and must be filed within 120 days after the end of the financial year.
For more information on Strata Living, contact the Commission of Strata Corporations.
The mineral world is an extremely supple and mobile space. So it's important that we inform you of the active workings and the wealth of opportunities that are being made possible through the redevelopment of mined mineral sites.
Jamaica is endowed with many large deposits of high-purity limestone that, if developed, can be marketed for the processing of high-value products. The potential for significant earnings from limestone lies in its varied uses, such as in the production of cement, paper, paints, chemicals, animal feed, soap, toothpaste, and for pharmaceuticals. Focus on large rock bodies suitable for producing skid-resistant aggregates for transportation-wearing surfaces is also an area of significant economic interest. Current rejuvenation and expansion in the mining and construction sectors, including the use of sand from hard rocks, are commanding new opportunities.
The Ministry of Transport and Mining is particularly happy that this event is occurring. It therefore means that given the use of blasting and explosives in these two sectors, there will be a serious amount of work for persons who are going to be familiar with and trained in the blasting technologies.
Jamaica was one of 6 countries selected in August 2014 to participate in the ACP EU Development Minerals Program, of which the capacity building training is a significant component. This program is an initiative of the African, Caribbean and Pacific ACP Group of States, financed by the European Union and is being implemented by the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, with the Ministry of Transport and Mining's Mines and Geology Division as the national partner. Through a grant of €750,000, the capacity building work has taken off with industry stakeholders, civil society, private sector operators, blasters, and public sector representatives being provided with training in best practices in health and safety, environmental stewardship, mine management, and gender issues. It's all part of an overall effort to have development of neglected minerals play a more integral role in sustainable development, generating more local jobs and reducing poverty.
The program must be commended because of its focus, one that seeks to raise the profile and improve the management, particularly in what they call development minerals sector. We know that these minerals have played and continue to play a very important role in terms of development, whether roads, highways. We know that we are in a knowledge economy, and knowledge is what basically drives economies. So this training program is very timely, any training program. The importance of improving your own efficiency, your competitiveness cannot be overemphasized. Thank the ACP, EU in particular, funders for your total and committed support to this program.
The training contributes to disseminating innovative know-how and supports the implementation of the Paris Agreement and its commitment to alternative clean technology.
When we are talking about blasting, we know that there are some risks. This learning will be important for influencing changing within the national frameworks. Because of lack of attention to the sector, often the ordinary practices face a number of environmental, social, and economic challenges. It is therefore important to build capacity by training and offering support to the main stakeholders in the sector. Like many Jamaicans, we believe that education and skills training are essential tools for transforming lives. This is why we are fully engaged in supporting key initiatives aimed at advancing access to education and building people's capacity to create or find employment opportunities to improve their quality of life.
The training covers theory as well as practical demonstrations of quarry blasting techniques and mining and other quarry management methodologies.
We are trying to let them have an understanding of blasting, quarry design, and how to more efficiently use the explosive to get the production that is desired. Basically, we are trying to impart best practice. Previously, what existed, we had nitroglycerin dynamite that we use, that the nitroglycerin gives you a headache. We have moved away from that. What we are using now is called a non-electrical system, and it has 2 detonators. Much better fragmentation, less ground vibration because they are shooting 1 hole per column charge. I have the surface connector. The in-hole connector you cannot see because it is in the hole, and this hole is actually 30 feet deep. We put a primer into the detonator, put it down the hole, and thereafter we bring a blasting agent, which is known as ANFO, and we fill the hole up to, in this case, we fill it up to 24 feet. And the other 6 feet, we put regular stone cutting to seal the hole, to effectively keep the explosive within the hole. And this process is replicated right through the whole blast design. For this particular blast, there are 32 holes in here. It is best to have a design. You can't build a house without planning what you're going to build. So no blast should be done without a plan. We load them all, connect them to each other, and we start initiating from one point. And when that is initiated, it will cause a chain reaction within this tube. And that explosive reaction will come and detonate a cap that is here, that will detonate the next hole that is this joint, and the process will continue until the blast is completed.
We basically mine 5 different raw materials for the cement manufacture process. Limestone, which is 80% of the materials used. Basically, we also drill and blast 80% of that material. So this program is very, very beneficial to us, as I'm expected to be exposed to all the best practices in drilling and blasting. I'll be better able to manage my contractors who are also here.
It will be a boost for the industry, considering we have been having train-the-trainer programs where we train individuals that will go back into the quarries, into the industry to train others. So before long we'll have a well-trained unit.
The ACP EU UNDP Development Minerals Program on Training, a partnership with Mines and Geology Division, Ministry of Transport and Mining, empowering people to achieve sustainable development.
We experience things daily that we find hard to explain. This is why the food in our Saturday soup today is the word petrichor. Sounds new, but you'd be surprised to know that it's that earthy, pleasant scent that frequently accompanies the first rain after a long period of warm, dry weather. If it wasn't for the petrichor rising from the drying lawn, there was no evidence of rain. Petrichor, flavoring this week's Saturday soup.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Banana bread, pancake, fritters, chips, banana in your smoothie, or simply boiled. If you did think say Aki alone did find a Linted market, you make a sad mistake. I just gave you 6 reasons to change that view. Banana has been a main staple in our diet for ever so long, but the industry has had major damaging hits. Here's how one organization has stepped in to revitalize the sector.
As early as the 1800s, Jamaica enjoyed a robust banana industry, and by 1866, the country began its export trade of the fruit. It was one of the top export produce and drivers of foreign exchange for the country. For years, the country and farmers alike enjoyed the success which saw up to 70,000 tons of banana being exported in 1993. But in the midst of this achievement were great challenges. The sector grappled with varying diseases and frequent storms and hurricanes like Gilbert in 1988 and Charlie in 1951. The banana industry also had to face trade liberalization, falling prices, and low competitiveness. This triggered a gradual decrease in export. The final blow to the banana industry and to the livelihoods of many farmers was the passing of Hurricane Dean and Tropical Storm Gustav in 2007 and 2008. During this time, export fell to its lowest level. Some 800 jobs were lost, with the closure of an estate in St. Thomas by a major stakeholder. Eventually in 2008, the export of bananas stopped. With the support of the European Union, a long-standing partner, which provided funding, the government of Jamaica implemented programs to revive the banana sector. Between 2009 and 2011, priority was given to strengthening the technical and administrative support teams of the Banana Board. And it was during this period that the EU Banana Support Program was established. Funding to support the undertakings amounted to over 116 million Jamaican dollars by the government, as well as over 677,000 euros by the EU. This strategic approach to revitalize the banana industry would see production picking up and the resumption of export in 2011.
The EU has been a great partner. In fact, it's our largest partner in the government and certainly in the agriculture sector in terms of grant resources. And those resources have helped to support in a very significant way.
European Union has been supporting the banana sector since 1996, so it's not something new, and that commitment is very strong. We recognize the importance of bananas to Jamaican people and Jamaican culture. Unfortunately, the blow to the exports in 2008 has been quite difficult to recover from. So today we are trying to support the Banana Board and the Growers Association and the small producers in order to improve their competitiveness, but also to assist them with technical expertise, to look at a variety of different types of bananas and plantains.
Over the years, the help is more than 40 billion Jamaican dollars. We have benefited tremendously as recovery from risk management, from hurricanes. They provided tremendous help to recover each time when there's a disaster.
The revitalization of the industry saw the implementation of the Jamaica Banana Accompanying Measures (JBAM) program in 2012. Approximately 1,400 farmers in banana-producing parishes of St. Catherine, St. Thomas, Portland, St. Mary and St. James are targeted under the program. They are introduced to new varieties of the crop, notably the Fia. This type gives 30 to 50% more yield and is good for cooking and producing chips. As the focal point with all Jamaica's international development partners, the PIOJ works with the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, to ensure that the funds provided by the EU support the country's long-term development goals.
What that means is that RADA now provides that technical support. It provides administrative support to the program to ensure that the funds received from the EU are actually spent on time, effectively, and actually do what they are actually designated to be doing. And so far, the project has actually achieved a lot on the ground.
Among the outcomes of the Jamaica Banana Accompanying Measures program are improvements to the Banana Board's laboratories. The research and development labs were outfitted with the latest equipment to carry out testing on disease samples and develop pesticides. The Banana Board is now able to produce a variety of plantlets from their new tissue culture biofactory. The projection is for the board to produce 120,000 tissue culture plantlets, that is to be supplied to participating farmers of the JBAM program per year. The calculated intervention by both the government of Jamaica and the European Union also allowed for the continued operations of the banana breeding station at Bodles in Old Harbour in St. Catherine. The Banana Board currently maintains over 150 varieties of disease-resistant banana plants. Also, JBAM supports the Growers Association through the construction of a $30 million processing plant. This will allow players in the industry to move up the value chain and benefit from the production of banana and plantain chips.
And in the future, they can look at other banana products. So we are actually empowering the growers to be involved further along the value chain, which will provide more profit, more income to the Growers Association.
Farmers also benefit from farm supplies at reasonable rates from stores operated by the All-Island Banana Growers Association.
The other thing is the availability. Because of our cash resource, thanks to the EU, we are now in a better position to improve on our inventory. So the availability of input material that is readily available to all farmers. Thirdly, from the assistance given to us, we were able to implement credit programs which our farmers could get assistance to resuscitate their farms and so forth.
The impact of the JBAM program is far-reaching. Not only are the farmers empowered to produce, but they are able to employ workers, thus spreading the financial gains across rural communities. Another advantage to the farmers is that they get the opportunity to acquire the Global Good Agricultural Practices certification. With this international standard, they are able to trade in the export market. The certification exercise is administered under the sub-program of JBAM, called the Banana Export Expansion Program, BEEP. Its main objectives are to increase banana production with international standards, develop the technical and infrastructural support of the industry, and preserve the industry's competitiveness in both the export and domestic markets.
Well, the assistance that I have gotten is tremendous. We have a huge storeroom that we have compartmentalized to facilitate smooth operation and to prevent contamination and to make us more efficient. By ourselves, we would not have been able to.
I've also received over $1.25 million in grant from this program, this B program, and this grant was used as infrastructural development. My farm is now certified as an export farm, so I'm now able to export my own fruit to various overseas countries.
The Banana Board has seen a steady increase in the export of banana and wants to take it further.
Our aim is to increase the overall production by 30%. Last year, we actually did 26%. So we are well on our way.
Export markets currently include the Cayman Islands, Canada, the United States, and the United Kingdom. Looking to the future,
the nature of EU's partnership with Jamaica will mean that we will continue supporting the government and civil society organizations in trying to improve people's lives, and that will be very much also relevant to the agricultural area.
The ministry has been guiding the agricultural sector in terms of growth. We are very proud that the sector has been growing and supporting the Jamaican economy. So our vision is to put the sector in a position through expansion of irrigation, through making available lands with requisite infrastructure, to be able to produce consistently, to tap into a huge tourist market, for export, for import substitution, and in the final analysis that our rural spaces and our rural communities are strong because they depend on agriculture. That's our vision.
Did you know that in a recent survey done by the OCA in schools across Jamaica, 43% of the students received inappropriate messages from strangers? The OCA wants you to be smart online. Never speak to persons you don't know. Parents, encourage your children to be social but be smart.
This message was brought to you by the Office of the Children's Advocate with support from UNICEF.
Health is both mental and physical, but it now goes beyond this. With the advent of snap, click, swipe, double tap, like, post and share, we have to take into consideration our virtual health. Where do your actions take you? Are you socially aware? Have you been a victim of illegal cyber activity, or are you yet to learn your lesson the way Tony and Letty did?
I'm Tony and Lati, and I am a victim of cybercrime. It started when my friends and I were in school, and we all received a friend request from a weird name. We didn't know who it was at the time, but because we all got the friend request, we figured more likely it was a real person, so everybody accepted this person. Wrong move. So everything was fine in the initial stages, but maybe like a week or two after everybody accepted the friend request, some strange things started to happen. They would send us messages, sometimes individually, or they'd send the same message to everybody just to see what kind of different responses we would have. And it was very weird, to say the least. But then after that, it's like they upped the ante a little bit to start. Well, they started to tell us things that we were doing and places that we were going and people that we were with, and it was just like, okay, do I know you? Well, we became very paranoid. It's sensitive information that this person is telling you, it's places that you never really announce it to people that you're going here. So when you see somebody send you a message to say, oh, you're here with this person and this person, you start to look at your friends now like, it's you, I know you're playing with me. You just tell the truth and let's move on. But it wasn't any of them. When everything happened, at that time we had a lecturer who was a DSP. So we started to get advice from him, asking, you know, what to do. And at that point, he told us that the best thing to do is stay as safe as possible. And so we started to leave school extra early. But we sort of just took matters into our own hands to try and find the person ourselves. We Googled how to trace IP addresses, and that's how we found out that the person who was doing this was actually a member of the school community, or they would be attached to the school Wi-Fi at the same time that we were at school. Eventually, it stopped because we made an uproar about it in spaces where we suspected the person was. So we began to speak very loudly about it. We let them know that we would be pressing charges and we'll go out with a bag of things. We didn't know who the person was, but we figured more likely that they heard us loud and clear. To this day, we don't have a definitive answer as to who the person was. Yes, we have our suspicions. But I can't really point at somebody to say, you are the person who was doing that. And that's a little scary to me. Looking back now, I think we all would have been much better off and a lot less paranoid if we kept ourselves to ourselves and only added people on social media that you know for a fact are your friends. If somebody doesn't have a profile picture, that's probably not somebody that you want to share your information with. To everybody else, I just say be very careful on social media because things and times have changed and there are some people out there with really malicious intent. So you just have to be very, very careful, be observant, be vigilant.
We take you out with a message from the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. But do remember to follow, like and subscribe to our social media pages and visit our website for more interesting stories. Until then, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.